This is Dale from Channel 6 News, and I'm reporting to you today about our new news story. So today we're gonna be checking out to see the public opinion on, is homeschooling better than traditional schooling? Now, obviously, the majority of us go to traditional public schools, and then some people go to private schools, and then a minority is homeschooled, and some aren't even schooled. But I want to know what other people think about whether homeschool or traditional school, and which one reigns supreme over the other. So I'm going to be going around interviewing a few people, and y'all can come right with me and experience this adventure. Channel 5 News. This is Dale from Channel 4 News, and we've arrived at our first interviewee's house. So there he is. Let's go talk to him. Come on. All right. Let's go see what his opinions are. Sir, can I interview you about your opinions on traditional schooling and homeschooling?
No.
That wasn't an option, sir.
Hey.
Sir, I'm coming in. I'm Dale with Channel 3 News. And today we're going to be interviewing William Microsoft and his views on whether homeschooling or traditional schooling is better. Now, sir, you've been going to traditional public schools all of your life, correct?
Yes, sir.
There you have it, folks. What are your views on homeschooling, and do you think it is a better choice for the children of this generation?
I think it's a worse choice, in my opinion, because you're getting trained by your parents. Your parents aren't always reliable. They can also be a little stupid.
He's got a point. He hates his parents. So, as we can tell, it's obvious he does make a good point. Sometimes not every parent is cut out to be a school teacher. Obviously, many of our teachers that we have at our public schools, such as my personal APLANG teacher, they are highly trained and very good at what they do, and I do appreciate their work. Sir, do you have bad experiences with public school teachers?
No.
He must go to a great school. So it is obvious that if somebody receives the training to become a public school teacher, then they must be cut out for it. Do you think this is correct? That not all parents are or should be teachers to the new generation, and that they should be left to the job of trained professionals such as teachers?
Yes.
Yes. You have a beautiful house, sir.
You're beautiful too.
There you have it, folks. That is only going to be our first opinion of the day, and we've got more stories to come. I'm Dale with Channel 7 News, and we'll get right back to you. Thank you, Mr. William Microsoft.
Dale.
Dale. I'm Dale from Channel 20 News, and now that we've finished up our interview with Mr. Microsoft, come on my way to my news van, and we'll travel around and see what other opinions we can get.
Sir, I'm Dale Chowder. I'm with Channel 2 News.
Dale Chowder?
Yes,
nice
sir.
to meet you. I'm Marty.
Marty? Marty who?
Marty.
Alright, nice to meet you, Marty. Alright, so my question is, do you like traditional school or homeschool better?
Man, I love homeschool. I've been homeschooled since day one. You heard, yes, sir.
Alright, and what's so much better about it?
The thing with homeschooling is convenient. See, what I love is I can work on a more flexible schedule, and also I don't have to worry about getting to school. I wake up and I'm in my school, and that school is my safe place because it's my home. It's more convenient, it's more comfortable, and it's safer. Another thing that I love about homeschool is the fact that, while yes, I don't get to socialize with all my friends, I don't have to deal with any of the FedEx. I don't have to deal with any of the built-in anxiety or stress or peer pressure that comes with these public schools that many kids face these days, especially with our new coming generation.
Now that was really deep, sir. But what about the teachers?
See, with the teachers, I don't have any, human teachers. Obviously, I have my parents to help me out here and there. And yes, they don't know everything. I know they're not qualified and professional teachers, and that is a respectable point that needs to be made and needs to be understood. But the thing is, I have, Khan Academy. I'm not being taught by my teachers. I'm enrolled in an online academy called Khan Academy. Yes, sir. And the thing is that, it allows me to work at my own pace, and I get to choose semi what I do, but also I feel like it's more efficient. I understand it better than taking flashcards and notes with an in-person teacher. So I think that online academies like that just work out better for some people.
Yeah. It works a lot better for some people, but not everybody.
And yeah, I think that's respectful. Obviously, online schooling isn't for anyone, or for everyone. But I think it needs to be, respected a bit more, and I think it needs to be tried out by some people. And also, especially with this oncoming pandemic, it's better for some of us to stay home. It has its benefits.
Well, thank you, sir. Nice to meet you, Marty. Marty, this is Dale Chowder with Channel 2 News.
Beautiful.
Not the baby. No.
See you later, skater. I'm Dale from Channel 9 News, and right now I'm about to start our final interview of the day. Good morning, Miss Huey.
Good morning.
So today we're going to be talking about our preferences towards traditional public schooling and homeschooling. Right off the bat, which one do you think is just better than the other? Homeschooling or traditional public schooling that most kids participate in?
I think traditional public school.
And why is that?
I think it better prepares young people for the world. You can learn the coursework in both settings, but the social aspects of building friendships, having activities, having a more diverse population, I think is better.
So you think that the benefits of public school are largely due to the fact that you're in a social environment instead of a solo environment, even though you're in your own personal house?
Yes, I do. There are downsides to it. Obviously there can be bullying, there can be cliques, or there can be peer pressure, and exposure to language or drugs. But again, you're going to get that if you go out into the real world. So I kind of think the earlier you do that and learn how to deal with it, the better, as opposed to being homeschooled, for 18 years and then going out into the world. That's a lot of skills that you won't have learned that way.
So you believe that public school reigns supreme largely due to the fact of the social environment, not necessarily the education. Do you think somebody can receive a better education from a public school instead of an online learning academy?
I think as far as the education, you can get a great education in either environment, and you can get a poor one. The teacher, the materials you're using, the effort you put in, the support you have at home can all make or break an education regardless of the school that you're in, and whether that's a home school or a public school.
So the kids' education largely depends on a multitude of variables that are present in both home and schools, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your time, Miss Yu. Are there any other questions that you would like to ask me about public schooling and traditional schooling?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Channel 9 News. It's kind of got a nice ring to it. I think I'm going to switch to Channel 19 News. All right, we're going to finish up here, and then I'll give you my final take right after this. Thank you, Miss Yu. I'm Dale, Channel 90 News. And throughout these past days, we've interviewed a multitude of people, only a few making the cut though, mainly because a multitude of people are dumb. But we've come across a lot of very compelling and thoughtful information, and it really got my mind going. Obviously, we started out with the question of, is traditional, public schooling better than homeschooling? And I believe throughout these interviews, we've learned a lot. We've heard both sides of the story. We've interviewed people who are homeschooled and people who've gone to traditional schools their whole life, and we interviewed someone who, is done with their schooling. They have a job, they're all grown up. And they all make very good points. Obviously, on, one end of the spectrum, defending homeschooling, it can be seen as a safe place and more, compatible, especially with introverted people who don't like to socialize a lot. It makes their life easier.
There's not a lot of travel involved, obviously. You wake up and you are at where you do your schoolwork, your home. And many people do think that is a safer place. You don't have to deal with the negatives that come with public schooling, such as bullying or the social anxiety, and a lot of that can be seen in today's school environment. And obviously, you're not exposed to certain things, such as if, there's a pandemic going around, it is safer to stay home. But then there's the other side of the story where, people who really root for public and traditional schooling, you get that social experience, you make friends, you make relationships, you build yourself as a person, and you're exposed to new things that allow you to change. And obviously, this prepares you for the outside world. When you go to college, when you go get a job, you're going to have to socialize and interact with other people. And this, public and social environment that you get with traditional schooling that we see today, it better prepares you for the real world. And I do think that is a valid point, and I think that is one of the best things about public schooling, is that even though there are negatives that come with it, there's also negatives that come with, homeschooling. You're cooped up in your house, and that can lead to its own problems. You're not, building these friends on the daily. You're not seeing them on the daily. You're not interacting with people. You're not laughing. You're not learning with other people or interacting with them. And I do think that can be, detrimental to someone's life in the future because they don't know how to act in the end. But I think it's important to note that, as Miss Huey said, there's a lot of variables that come with that. There are bad teachers out there. Who knows? There are some parents that may be qualified to teach their kids. And obviously, there's bad online learning programs, and there's good online learning programs. It all just kind of varies, but I do think that in the end, when we loop back to our base question of whether does traditional schooling reign supreme over, home schooling, I honestly do think that my personal opinion as Dale, I do think my opinion is going to have to lean towards traditional schooling. I went to traditional schooling all my life, and look where I am now. I'm doing pretty good. Well, folks, and then we've reached the conclusion that many people do, prefer traditional public schooling due to the fact that, largely the educational environment, such as the teachers and materials, is often better than homeschooling. While there are certain cases where a school may not be suited to give kids the best, education that they deserve, there are also a bunch of schools that, are well equipped. And so I think that due to that, between, some schools being well equipped, along with, the social experiences that you gain and the way that that positively affects kids, especially younger generations, giving them a good start along with social experiences and, building a friend group, from young ages, starting at, 5 with, preschool and, 1st through 5th grade. I do think that because of those factors, along with good educations, I do think that traditional schooling is going to have to be the way to go. You heard it here first, folks, and you heard it here all day long on Channel 99 News. I'm Dale, and we'll see you next time, folks.